I saw the town from miles away. Same church and broken sign. The wind still pushed the tumbleweeds like it did back in my time. No one waiting by the station, no horses at the rail. But every step I took that day remembered every trail. 20 years is a long road for a man who never stayed. I left behind a promise and a debt I never paid. They said a man still asks for me each sunset every year. Sits alone outside the saloon like he knows I'm near. I came back at sundown when the sky was burning red. Some things don't forgive you, no matter where you fled. I came back at sundown to finish what I knew. A man can outrun the desert, but not the truth. He stood when he finally saw me, didn't reach for his gun, just dust upon his shoulders and eyes against the sun. He said, I knew you'd make it back, a promise pulls a man. I said I'd never stop riding, soon as I understood. We walked into the street then, where shadows cut the ground. No crowd, no preacher praying, no other souls around. Two paths met in silence, no anger left to say, just the weight of one old evening. We both remembered that day. I came back at sundown when the sky was burning red. Some things don't forgive you, no matter where you fled. I came back at sundown to settle what was due. You can outrun tomorrow, but yesterday rides you. The church bell rang behind us as the daylight slipped away. He whispered, now we're even, before the draw that day. One shot broke the silence and the swallows left the sky. I never heard him hit the ground, I just watched the daylight die. I came back at sundown and the desert washed it all. No one wins a memory, no matter who may fall. I came back at sundown, and when the night was through, I left my gun behind me, like I always meant to do. The wind still crosses that old street when evening colors fade, and some say two men still stand there in the dust their shadows made.
There's a cabin by the tree line where the road don't like to go. No lights for miles around it, just the lantern's yellow glow. I built it years ago when I buried who I'd been. Tried to leave the past outside, but it always finds a way in. Every night I sit in silence, coffee cooling by my hand, listening to the coyotes across the darkened land. I changed my name and story, stopped carrying my gun, but some things right behind you, no matter how far you run. Then someone knocked after midnight, slow against the door, a sound I'd heard in dreams before, from another life and war. Someone knocked after midnight, and I knew before I knew the man I used to be had finally come through. I opened up the doorway, moonlight on the floor, the young man standing silent. I'd seen his eyes before. He held an old photograph, edges worn with years, my face staring back at me from a life I hid in fear. He didn't reach for anger, didn't curse my name. He only said, my mother spoke of you the same. Said she never told him where the outlaw used to hide, but every story ended with a man who rode away that night. Someone knocked after midnight, not a lawman, not revenge, just a past I couldn't mend, standing at my fence. Someone knocked after midnight, and the years fell through. I wasn't hiding from the world, I was hiding from you. I placed my gun upon the table for the first time in my days. Not every debt is paid with blood, some are paid by staying. Someone knocked after midnight, and I let him inside. The boy I never raised stood there in the firelight. Someone knocked after midnight, and I finally knew the life I ran from all those years was waiting in you. Now mornings come much softer, the cabin door stays wide, and sometimes past forgiveness is just letting someone inside.
There's a chair in the corner of the old saloon. No one sits there, not even at noon. Dust on the table, cards still laid down, like someone left quick the sun went down. Old men whisper when the fire burns low about a rider from long ago. He comes every winter when cold winds cry, rides through the street, then passes by. He never stays till morning, he never says a name, orders one black coffee, then vanishes again. Hoofbeats fade to silence before the daylight came. They call him just a memory, but he rides the same. Oh, bartender swore he heard him speak, said he was looking for someone he'd meet. A promise was broken on a night of snow, and he's still riding 'cause he never let go. Some say he died outside this town, buried where no cross was found. Still every year the lantern sways, right when he comes and right when he fades. He never stays till morning, he never leaves a trace, just the smell of leather and a weathered face. No one hears him leaving, no one sees him king, but the chair keeps waiting all the same. I laughed at stories like young men do, till one cold evening I saw him too. He looked straight at me like he knew my name, and nodded slow and rode away. He never stays till morning, but now I understand. Some men keep their promises beyond this land, and when my time is over, if I ride the same, leave a chair there waiting for my name.
Close the mine in autumn, pack the wagons one by one. Children wait from porches in the dying sun. Dust rolled through the main street, boards nailed to each door. By winter there was no one here anymore. They asked me why I stayed there. Said this town was done. I told them I had reasons I couldn't outrun. Here's a bench beside the station where she said she'd wait if ever I came back for her, no matter how late. So I stayed when everyone left, through the cold and the rain. Every train that passed me called her name. So I stayed when everyone left, though the years kept moving on. Some promises are stronger than the ones we live upon. Spring came through the valley, grass covered the tracks. Letters stopped arriving, never coming back. I painted that same station each and every year, so if she came one morning, she'd know I was still here. Folks passing through would ask me who I waited for. I'd smile and say just someone who knows this door. Some nights I thought I saw her step off in the steam, but morning always found me with only a dream. So I stayed when everyone left, and now I understand. Some roads only lead you back to where you began. I stayed when everyone left, and she took my hand. Some waits are worth a lifetime. Does someone understand? Now the town has voices where silence used to be, and every evening sunset brings her back to me. I was riding past the canyon where the red dirt meets the sky. No town within a day's ride, no reason to stop by. But something pulled my horse there to a hill beside a tree, where a single cross was standing, where no grave ought to be. No fence around the ground, no flowers left in sand, just a wind across the valley and tracks that weren't from man. I stepped a little closer and brushed away the dust, and the name carved in that timber turned my bones to rust. My name was on the grave, carved deep in the pine, same letters my mother wrote all those years in time. My name was on the grave, out where no one came. I stood there in the silence, calling my own name. I thought of every enemy, every debt unpaid, every night I outran, every choice I made. Maybe someone knew me better than I knew, or maybe fate was waiting for something overdue. Then I heard a shovel fall behind me in the dusk. An old man stood watching, leaning on a crutch. He said, I've waited years now, knew you'd come around. Some men can outrun bullets, but not the ground. And my name was on the grave before I ever died. Every road I wandered led me to that side. My name was on the grave, and I finally knew you don't find your ending, your ending finds you. You said your brother carved it the night you rode away. Said one day you'd come back, and here is where you would stay. I fell down to my knees where the dry wind blew. I'd been alive for years, but never living true. My name was on the grave, but I walked away, left my gun and saddle at the break of day. My name was on the grave, but now I understand a man must bury who he was to become a different man. And somewhere in that desert, that lonely cross remains, not for the man I am now, but for the man I became. He came in with the evening, no dust upon his boots, tied his horse outside the saloon, and ordered whiskey neat. Didn't speak to anybody, didn't say his name, but the sheriff watched him closely, like he knew why he came. Town had trouble brewing. 3 men claimed the land, ran the farmers off their water with a hired gun's hand. No one dared to stop them, no one stood their ground, till that stranger asked the barkeep, "What keeps fear in this town?" He rode away before dawn, before the rooster cried, left the street in silence and just as satisfied. He rode away before dawn, before they knew his name. Some men don't need glory to leave a change. Gunshots woke the valley just before first light, echoes through the canyon, ended one long night. Folks came out at sunrise, saw the street was clear, 3 hats in the dust, and no stranger near. Only thing remaining was a badge upon the ground and a star scratched on the table where he'd been sitting down. Sheriff looked to the mountains, the track's already gone, said some men ain't running, they just keep moving on. He rode away before dawn, before the sun could rise. No cheers, no celebration, just relieved eyes. He rode away before dawn, left the past behind. Sometimes the right man is hard to find. Preacher said a prayer for him, though no one knew his face. Some heroes don't stay long, they just pass a place. He rode away before dawn, where the red horizon lay. No stone would mark his passing, no songs would make him stay. He rode away before dawn, and still the people say, a stranger saved the town, then simply rode away. And if you pass that valley when the sun goes down, you might see a rider looking toward the town.